Hey guys, Gary from DIY Electronics and PixieKits.com. Today what I'm going to be showing you how to do is build a code plug from the ground up for your Anytone radio. I've got a D878UVii Plus, okay, and what I did is I built a WPSD hotspot for the house. Now I'm going to show you how to make a code plug from the ground up for your hotspot. This isn't for a repeater in your area or simplex or anything like this. This is a code plug specifically for your hotspot in your house. And again, I'm not using Pi-Star. I do want to get into Pi-Star, but I started out with WPSD first. And if you don't know what WPSD is, I'm going to show you here on the computer in a minute. Now, the first critical piece of information you need from your Anytone to do this is you've got to know what your version number is. I'm going to show you how to find it. So, say you bought this used, and because a lot of times when you get this brand new from, I got this from Bridgecom. But if you get it on eBay or something like that, you got it. They're not going to tell you what the version number is, so you got to find out. So what you need to do to find the version number is hit the green button and go down to Settings. There's Settings right there. Hit the green button and go down to Device Info. Hit the green button, and right there is your firmware. Firmware is version 3.02N. Alright, so keep that in mind, because that's very important, because you can, when you go out and you search for the CPS software to program your Anytone, you got to make sure that the CPS you're getting is specifically made for your radio. Or if you build your code plug and try to download it, number one, it probably won't find the port. Number two, it'll probably say wrong version number, or number three, it just won't work at all. Alright, now the other critical part is you've got to make sure that you use the cord specific. I have a problem with that word. Specifically made for the Anytone. Okay, basically this is just a straight through cord for the Anytone. It's not like the Bowphone, where it has, what do they call that, a UART 3 something or other, and you got to get the software and everything else for it. The Anytone has a built-in port that is going to tell your computer, hey, I am port 11 and you're not going to change it. Alright, I'm going to show you how to find out the port number too. So again, you got to make sure you use the proper cord for your Anytone. Alright, not any knockoff or anything like that. And the other thing that you got to make sure, and I'm going to show you here again on the computer, is you got to make sure that you're plugged into a USB port that is 3.0 or better. If you plug it into one of the 2.0 USB ports that are made for you, like your keyboard or your mouse or something like that, it may download, but you may have some problems with your software. It may become jinky and not download everything. It'll say, yeah, I think I downloaded everything, but I don't know, try the radio out. That's what your computer's telling you. And I'm going to, again, over here on the computer, I'm going to show you how to pick the proper port on either your laptop or your computer for downloading the software, because it's very critical. You got to have a 3.0 or higher USB port to do the programming. Like I said, you can do it on 2.0, but you may run into problems. Alright, I think we got it all out the way. Let's switch over to the computer, and we'll start with USB ports first for identifying the 3.0 to the 2.0. So let me switch computers. Switch. Alright, I want to bring you into USB ports right here. Now take a look at this picture right here. Your computers will say, it'll just have the USB symbol, okay? But if you look at this, the blue ones says SS for super speed. that means that these are the proper ports you want to use for your Anytone download. Don't use these black ones. This one over here is on a computer, a laptop. Here's the blue one, but it's actually not marked SS. But if it's blue, that means it's super speed. If it's black, it's standard speed. Like on my laptop, they put the slow speed one. Whoops! I got to switch you back so you can see me. On my laptop, this side is black, and it doesn't say SS on the USB port. And I know you can't see this, but no, wait a minute, I showed you the wrong one. Yeah, this is actually the super speed because it says SS on it. And on the other side, the computer has two USB ports, and neither of them say SS, and they're not blue. All right, and unfortunately, my laptop here, the SS port is not blue, it's black, but it says SS on it, so that is a 3.0. Alright, so enough of the lesson on the ports. Let me switch back over. So again, if it says SS, that's the port you want to use, or if it's a blue port and it's not even marked, the blue port is what you want to use. Okay, now let's go to, not Brandmeister, let's go to Bridgecom. Now guys, up here, pause the video and write down this website address right there. Basically, you just go to bridgecomsystems.com and then hit support, and it'll bring you right to this page. Alright, so now this is where the CPS software comes into play. Your Anytone 878, and then you go down here and you find your version number. Mine is CPS version 3.02. All right, so that is the one that I downloaded. All right, and this works for other ones too. All right, if you have, let me just I gotta get my mouse over on this side. Let's go back to Bridgecom Systems and go to Bridgecom Systems. I just want to show you. Go to support. Alright. Now, they also have it for the 578. Alright, for the firmware for the CPS. Alright. So anyways, that's enough about the Bridgecom system. So just remember support.bridgecom systems, or just go to bridgecomsystems.com and you'll find the software. So let me get rid of this. Get rid of that one. We're done with the USB ports. We'll come back to that. We can get rid of that. And all right. So now, after you get the software loaded up for, I'm getting tangled up in my cords here. After you get the software loaded up for the CPS, this is what you're going to have right here. This is your CPS programming software. And if you notice, you can't find my mouse because here it is. If you notice right up here, it's a version 3.02. Alright, so now the first thing you have to do is, I'm sorry, I should have told you guys about this, but if you didn't know, you have to have a DMR ID for you to load the software into your Anytone 878, and the site you go to get that is radioid.net. Alright, and this is where you can sign up for a DMR ID. All you have to do is go over, let's see, how do you do this? I can't remember. Basically, you can go here to database and go to online search, and I thought there was a sign up button here. Anyways, go over here to sign up, put in your call sign, a password, log in, and then you can just walk right through this, and you'll have your ID in a couple of days. Alright, so that's your DMR ID is what it's called. So to get that, you go to radioid.net. Alright, so in a couple of days, now you go back to your software. I apologize on that, because that's the first thing you got to do to set up your Anytone on your hotspot. So the first thing you want to do in your CPS software is go to digital. Open that up and then go to radio ID list. Alright, now you can have several radios on this one CPS, as long as they're all 3.2. Say you got a business that you're running and you want to have a whole bunch of these for your guys. Well, it wouldn't be really a business. Maybe a ham group of some sort. But anyways, you could have several radios on here. And what you do is you click on number 1 and you put in your radio ID. And my radio ID is 3205823. Let me make sure that's right. 3205823. 5823, correct. And then the radio ID, what you do is you put in, let me just back this out, put in your call sign, N1ZAX, and then space, and then put your first name. Alright, and then just say OK. Now, you putting in your first name, well, for me anyways, I use the WPSD software, and what that does is, let me just put this down here for a second and bring up the WPSD software. When you call out for, radio check or CQ or anything like that, it comes up with your country flag. Well, of course, it comes up with your call sign, and it comes up with your first name right here. That's what that does when you put your name next to your call sign. That's how it puts it into. I haven't got Pi Star yet, so I'm not going to say Pi Star, but I believe Pi Star would be the same way. All right, so now that we have a radio, one radio set up, we can move on to the next. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to set up your talk groups. So click here, and what talk groups are is, let me just bring this down, let me come up to the Brandmeister talk group. You can have talk groups so that when you change your stations on your Anytone, you can go to worldwide, Europe, North America. You can actually go to your specific state. That's down here in the 3000s. We got Arizona, Alaska, California. That's all the nets, not nets. You can't have nets really on DMR unless you have your own DMR net number, I believe. But anyways, talk groups. That's what I'm looking for. Talk groups. So here's the talk groups and whatnot. So let's start off with one of the big talk groups. Let's go to worldwide. That is talk group 91. So just remember 91 and worldwide. So let's go back to our CPS software. And matter of fact, I'm sorry, I'm going to back that up. Cancel. I want to go to Parrot. I want to show you Parrot. And Parrot is all the way down here in the 9000s. What Parrot does is basically it allows you to test your radio. Why don't they have Parrot on there? Wow, they took Parrot off. Oh, one of Parrot's always up to the top. Anyways, I know that Parrot is 9990, so let's pop that in. Alright, so the first one you want to do is Parrot. So let's go P-A-R-R-O-T. And the group call, and I know that group number is 9990. And we'll say OK. Now the next group we wanted to do was worldwide. W-O-R-L-D W-I-D-E, and that's a group call, and that number was 91. Alright, and then we say OK. Now what I want to do is I want to back up the parrot. I want to change this to a private call and say OK. Because what happens is when you're doing the CPS software, if you want to put parrot as your number one, which a lot of people do, is your very first group that you create cannot be private. It has to be a group call. So you can put in parrot and make it, let me just go back here again. You can put in parrot first, but you got to make sure it's a group call, and then save it, put in another group, and then go back to parrot, and then make it private. All right. So what that does, a private call, it means that just you are going to be the one listening for your voice to come back. That way you don't, make it a group call where it goes out to everybody and everybody can hear your call just testing your radio. That's what a parrot is. I'm going to show you. It's going to, talk right back to me when I test it. All right, so we got worldwide and we got parrot. Now let's grab another one. Let's go to another busy one. North America's really, this is Sunday, so North America's really not that busy. Let's go to, what do we got? What do we got? Grenada, Japan, Costa Rica, Panama, Portuguese. Oh man, there's so many. Oh, let's go to North America. Let's go North America, which is 93. We'll try North America, even though this is Sunday. There might be somebody out there. So again, the name will be North America. Yo, spell America right. North America, and that's a group call. Meaning that you're calling everybody that's on the North American group so that, somebody will talk back to you, and that's a 93. And say, okay. All right, so we got our 3 groups set up. So now let's start, we'll do setting up channels for each one of your talk groups. We're going to set up the channels. All right, so the first one was parrot. So we go P-A-R-R-O-T. All right. Now, the frequency. This is where it can be kind of confusing. I'm actually going to cancel this. And I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to bring up WPSD. All right. Now, see, this is how it's going to be for PSD. I'm not sure on Pi-Star. I apologize, but I don't know Pi-Star yet. But it's going to be pretty much the same. You go to admin, you go to configuration, and then when you set up your hotspot, you're going to have to set up your hotspot with a radio frequency. And Bridgecom, they're the ones that basically, I got a lot of information from them for setting this up. They suggested using 446.525 because that's it's a pretty dead frequency on the 70 centimeter band. So that's what I put in. So that's what you have to put in CPS on your code plug. So remember 446.525. So we go back here and we're going to set up our first channel, which is North America. I keep on spelling America wrong. North America, and that was 446.525, and that's 446.525. All right, we don't need any correct frequency, just leave that as 0. The channel type is digital. The transmit power, bring that to low, because you're setting up this code plug to report, to transmit over your hotspot, and that's going to be in your house. It's not like the hotspot is 20 miles away. It's right in your house. So just leave that at, low. All right. TX permit, you can say always, or if you go channel free. If you put it on channel free, if somebody in the background is talking or keyed up, your radio will go ka-chunk and say, no, you can't use this frequency, somebody's on there. It's kind of annoying, so just leave it always. Scan list, to say none. APRS, we won't even turn that on. I'm not talking about APRS today. So we'll go to North America, and then you go to the contact, and we're making a parrot. Oh no, we're doing North America first, sorry. I thought I was doing parrot, but I've already got North America in here, so we'll do parrot next. Your radio ID, just leave it alone. Your color code, that is set up in the WPSD software and Pi-Star. I just want to save this so I don't have to do it all again, and I'm going to go to WPS and show you where your color code is. So I picked color code 1. That's what a lot of people do if they have a hotspot. And a hotspot is slot 2. The receive group, all this stuff, all the rest of the stuff, just leave it alone and say okay. All right. Now, we'll come back to this again. I just want to bring up, this is my configuration dashboard for WPSD. It's probably going to look the same for Pi-Star, but how you pick your color code is you come down here, and where the heck is it? Right here. General DMR settings. This is your color code for your hotspot, and I chose number 1. And that's generally the consensus for everybody that sets up a hotspot, is you make your color code 1. Now, how you decide between slot 2 and slot 1 is if your radio, okay, that is your communicator with your Pi, does it have 2 antennas on it, or does it just have 1? 2 antennas means that you're duplex and you have 2 different time zones. If you got 1 antenna, that means that you're simplex, okay? So 1 antenna is simplex and 1 antenna is duplex, all right? If you're simplex, you always select time slot 2. If you duplex, then you can decide between the 2 time slots, and I'm not really too versed on that, so I'm not going to confuse anybody on that. But anyways, that's how you set your color code down here. Under general DMR settings, you select color code. You can select whatever color code you want, all the way up to like 15. But the consensus is everybody does 1. And then up here is why you choose time slot 2 or time slot 1 and 2 if you're simplex or duplex. So, all right, so let's go back in here. I'm just going to go back in here and just show you. Since I am simplex, I've only got 1 antenna coming off of my unit. I got my radio ID, I'm color code 1, and I'm slot 2. All right, and that's all you need to set up that 1 channel. Now, to save yourself some time, go on number 1 and right click, copy, bring it down to number 2 and right click and paste. All right, then click on number 2, double click it, and we'll go parrot, P-A-R-R-O-T. all right, so we already got our frequency set up, digital low, and we got all this set up. All you have to do is hit North America, and right here hit parrot. Just grab your next group. Everything is now set up for you on that channel, and say okay. Then we'll do it again. Right click, copy, right click, paste, and then we'll go in and change that. And what is our next group? Worldwide. So right up there at the top we'll go worldwide, and go right here to the contact, and we'll click on worldwide, and that's all set. This is all populated for you, okay? All right, everything's the same thing, color code, slot 2, digital, low transmit power, always, everything's all set. Say okay. There's our 3 channels. All right, now you can on your contact, your group, you could have, you know, I don't know how far does this go. How far does that go always down there? You can have 9,000 different channels. All right. I'm not really sure how many talk groups actually exist in the world, but I really don't know. It's probably about 9,000, maybe even more. All right, so you can keep on adding as many groups as you want. So the next thing we want to do is, all right, so anyways, we've done the radio. That's your, your first radio. Then we went to contact. All right, we put in our 3 talk groups. Then we went to channel, and we made a channel for each one of our talk groups. And now we go to the zone list, and we double click on the first list, and we'll call this hotspot. All right. And then what you got to do on your zone list is you got to move over all of your talk groups that you want on this particular zone. All right, so I'm going to bring them all over. I'm just going to click 1, 2, 3. All right, and then say OK. Now, so again, guys, so you've got your talk groups all set up. You go up here to channels. You got your 3 channels set up for your talk groups. We went to zone, and we got the 3 channels over onto your zone. Okay. Now all we have to do is we have to download it to the radio. So we're going to do this. Let's see. All right, I'm going to come back over to the to number 1 to here. Okay. So I've got my programming cable, and what you do is I'm going to plug it into my 3.0 USB port, and on the radio what you want to do is you want to make sure it's off. Alright, you plug in your cable. Alright, radio off. So plug your cable into USB port, plug the cable into your radio that is in the off position. Alright, we're going to go back over here, and we're going to hit this little icon here. I'm not sure what it is. Looks like it's a couple of USB. It looks like a USB cable. Click on that. All right. Now, where is my mouse? Oh, my mouse is over there. Come over here, mouse. I got 2 screens going here. All right. So what you do now is you just turn the radio on. All right. Just turn it on. Now watch this box. Takes a minute for that radio to boot up. Boop, 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 boop. All right. The radio just booted up, and it's telling you the radio is on COM 11. So you click on this, turns blue, say OK. Now, you go up here, and it says write to radio. Click that. Write data, yep. Do not press the digital contact list. I'm not really sure why Bridgecom says don't press it. It'll really load a whole bunch of crap to your radio. And then all you do is just hit OK for other data. It writes to the radio. You say OK. And I'm going to bring you back. And now it's rebooting. Alright, so now if you look at this, we got North America, Worldwide, and Parrot. North America, Worldwide, and Parrot. So the first thing we're going to try out is Parrot. Let me just switch you back over here. And want to go to my dashboard, and then I want to go to simple view. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to come back over to live, and we're going to. All right. So the first thing you got to do before you try out Parrot is you got to disconnect it. Now Parrot, basically what it does is it's just going to test your hotspot to make sure that it's getting through the internet and coming back through the internet. All right. So right now I got it on Parrot, and I'm going to test it. N1ZAX, N1ZAX, testing Parrot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, now let me switch you over to my WPS software, and right there you can see N1ZAX was testing Parrot. Alright, so now I'm going to test Parrot again and watch my screen. November 1, Zulu Alpha X-Ray, testing Parrot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1.
November 1, Zulu Alpha X-Ray, testing Parrot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, let me bring you guys back. I gotta use this split screen. Alright guys, that in a nutshell is how you program a code plug from the ground up for your Anytone HT or your Anytone. It could be the mobile unit too, the 578. And I showed you where to get the software, how to build the code plug. I told you how to make sure you have the right version number, make sure that you're using the proper cable, make sure you're using the proper USB port. Any questions, comments, leave it down below. This DMR, it's very, there's a lot of information out there, and just leave me a comment down below and I will search it out for you, and I'll do the best I can. There's a couple other contacts you can do on YouTube also. Is you can get a hold of a guy, his name is, I think it's KM9G, but he's temporarily offline. That's what his name is on YouTube, is temporarily offline. Or get a hold of the Smoking Ape. Oh, and there's one other guy that's really good with WPSD. I can't think of it right off. But anyways, there's a lot of guys online. But get a hold of temporarily offline. He'll get a hold of that other guy that is his partner basically, and they do a lot of videos together. They're really good. All right. Any questions? You know, get it from them too. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Ring the bell. Subscribe. Leave comments down below. Let's give you guys a couple of minutes of watching WPSD.
This is WPSD monitoring. Anybody around on worldwide today? I'm in Fort Myers, Florida.
Now he says he's in Fort Myers, Florida, but he's from Mainsville, Ohio.
This is KQ4 KZW.
This guy's from Chapel Hill.
Okay, this is WA8VVD, Whiskey Alpha 8, Victor Bravo Papa Mobile.
There's one from Turkey.
KQ4 KZW, I'm up in central North Carolina. Okay, your audio is way down. I think you're in central something. I didn't catch anything else other than that. The audio is real low.
Let me turn my audio down a little bit.
Yeah, central North Carolina.
So again, guys, this is all coming off of my hotspot, not a local repeater, just my hotspot running WPSD. I've got a Pi 4 Raspberry Pi 4 with a MMDVM
Warmer there than here.
modem hat.
Headed kind of that direction next week, so hopefully stays nice down there. Yeah, it's beautiful today. It's about 77 degrees, and there's not a cloud in the sky. It's perfectly blue, and the sun's out real nice. And a little bit of breeze, not much. So I didn't catch your call on mobile right now, but this is WPSD, and we're just out running around. Yeah, enjoy your day. This is KQ4 KZW. No.
Oh, he's on a boat. He's at a maritime mobile. Fruit Cove, Florida. There's one from Bluemont, Virginia. I was going to let this run a couple minutes just so you guys can, get a taste of what, this WPSD software can do, and basically what a hotspot can do for you. It is so nice to think that you can talk around the world on 2 meters, and you're only using maybe, 1 watt, and talk around the world. It's all internet based, so if, God forbid the whole infrastructure goes down, we're back to simplex, but it's fun to play with while we have it.
November 1st, Bravo Charlie Yankee, BW7 Kilo Papa Dog.
I'm on the worldwide talk group 91. We got the Netherlands, Philippines. I think that red and white one, I believe that's Croatia. SP, or is that Poland? Yeah, so the white and red cross is, I believe, is Norway. Here we've got one from Serbia, Arkansas, Texamalicu, Pablo, Mexico. Alright guys, you've seen enough. Anyways, ring the bell, do all your good stuff. I just wanted to give you a little taste of DMR on a hotspot. Thanks guys.